Hello, you want to work for me for a little bit? Hell no, I don't want to do that again. Oh, hell no, I'm not freaking giving you a durian. Though I could use the extra lives. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is a big day. It's the day we finally, at long last, end Super Mario Sunshine. The gate to the finale is right there. I can't believe it. This is it. This is the end. But don't worry. Oh, don't worry. We're in for a lot of fail this episode, I tell ya. Because this stage right here, is a pain in the ass. This is by far the worst stage in the entire game. Well, that's not true. I would argue that the pachinko machine is worse, but this is within the top 3. I hate Corona Mountain. Corona Mountain is... Well, there's not really a whole lot of getting prepared for Corona Mountain. All that really can be said is that you're lucky if you can survive. If you get to Bowser, that's a treat. Now, don't stand on these things for too long because they will reignite and the spikes will retract, so you gotta watch out for that. Alrighty, and there it is. There it is, the worst part of the game. The boat. I hate that boat. When I see that boat, all I see is misery. So, I may fall silent for a few minutes, just so I can focus on the boat, but let me tell you how it controls. Basically, you squirt using your little nozzle there, and you influence its direction. That doesn't sound too bad, it sounds like traditional boat controls, but you have no idea how difficult that thing is to navigate. And Nintendo has still not figured out how to do it because this shit turns back in Luigi's Mansion 3, so yeah, I'm not thrilled. It begins. Now, one thing I should note is that one way to maybe ensure your survival is to squirt. Like, do little itty bitty squirts. That way you move slower, and that way you can influence your direction a little better. And also, I should bring up that it is really... I don't know where I was going with that. It is advised, go slow. Don't go fast. You go fast, that's when you die. And that's what killed me the last couple of times I was in here, was because I got impatient. And even if you go slow, you're gonna die, so... Yeah, and guess what? You die once, you go all the way back to the beginning of Corona Mountain. Oh yeah. It's one of those stages. And by the way, that checkpoint, yeah, it doesn't show up until you reach the platform on the other side of the lake of fire, so... Yeah, get ready. My heart legitimately is pounding right now because I really don't want to mess this up. And honestly, that was one of my best attempts. So I think we'll stick with that method because it seems to solve a world of hurt. Honestly, if you gun it, you do get there faster, but you also risk landing in the lava spire. And by the way, hit anything. Hit anything. It can be the recharge station, it could be a lava spire. Hell, even if you hit the wall, you die. The boat descends and you die. That is the kind of crap we're dealing with right now. It is so stupid. This is so stupid. How did you mess up the worst this part of the game? How? I would love to know. I want to know what Nintendo was thinking when they were testing this out. I don't think they were. Because this part of the game just really does reek of the unfinished state of Mario Sunshine, and I'm probably gonna die again. Let's see, maybe not. Maybe if I can angle my trajectory a little bit more. Nope, I'm gonna die. Oh well. And then turn in time. I'll be honest. It is kind of interesting, like, strategy-wise, because you really do have to be very careful here in Corona Mountain. And if that was their goal, like, you were kind of helpless or whatever, then they succeeded. But honestly, I think it would have just been smarter if you had more of these platforms, and they just got harder and harder as you went forward. Or, you know, you had the turbo nozzle or something, and, you know, you could still die in one hit, but at the same time, you also didn't have to deal with boat physics. You just had to deal with the turbo nozzle, which is hard enough as it is. So, I don't know. I think there are like a million different ways you could have done Corona Mountain. This is just ridiculous. This is a ridiculous stage. And it really does reek of awkward game design. It really does. Although I do like the name of the stage, Corona Mountain, which Corona means crown, so it makes sense because this is where Bowser and Bowser Jr. are hiding, and, you know, they're king and prince respectively, so that's kind of neat. So it literally is kind of saying, like, King Mountain, or Sun Mountain, because Corona happens to be the outer atmosphere of the sun. And since, you know, volcanoes are hot, or whatever, it just adds to... Yeah, I was too close. Probably could have waited a little bit more on that. That was my fault. I wasn't paying attention. I was paying attention more on talking than I was trying to get across. But really, this is the only way. Like, you almost have to talk yourself... You know, you have to talk yourself down so you can just be patient enough to deal with Corona Mountain. But anyway, I'm trying to remember what the Japanese version of this one is called. I mean, I do have the internet pulled up right now, but anyway, my headset is trying to slide again. There we go. Alright. Oh man, that was close. I can tell you a good number of my deaths here during my practice run was because of that. Might as well show that that's there. And I'm just going to warn you, this is going to be a long episode. This is going to be a very long episode because I really don't want to edit much more of this crap, you know? But, fortunately, second half of the stage is ridiculously easy. The first half of the stage... Well, actually, this would be the first... Maybe it's more like a third of the stage. The first third of the stage isn't that bad. The last part of the stage isn't so bad. It's the middle part of the stage that's really terrible because of the boat. And honestly, if you haven't peed, you're probably going to pee your pants because, you know... It's not that this is a spooky place, though the music really is kind of spooky, but... It's just the fact that you're going to be focused so hard, you know? Let's see. I'm just looking at how my playback looks, because for whatever reason, whenever it's stationary, it has issues playing the playback, which is weird, because it plays fine whenever I don't have playback on. Like, whenever I'm just recording, it records fine. Like, the playback is okay, but that's why I keep, like, checking my playback, because I really don't know what's going on. Okay, I gotta angle a little more. There we go. That should give me just enough velocity to dodge the spire. Alright. There we go. Gotta point a little more aggressively. Oh, no! We were so close! The horror. I will say, this is the stage where you're gonna probably hear Mario's various Italianisms in action, because they're just... A lot of his death sounds are really funny. Like, arrivederci, which actually, in the German version of the game, arrivederci is in place of the, like, the too bad in most of the world. I think that's kind of cool. I think that honestly, I kind of wish that Arrivederci was the main thing, like, just all over the globe, because, you know, Mario's Italian, so it'd be kind of cool. Although I guess, you know, people would just call racist on that, but then again, Mario's just a stereotype of an Italian man, which is odd, because if you really stop to think about it, Italian people don't really sound like that. You know, I like this. They more talk like this. They more talk like you're from Jersey or New York. Like, that's an actual Italian accent. Which is interesting, because that's the one thing the cartoon got right, was Mario's accent. If Mario really was, like, native Italian, he would sound different. You know, he wouldn't sound quite as, you know, stereotypically Italian. I'm gonna die. That was my fault. That, I will admit, that was my fault, because I wasn't... Whatever. I guess while we're doing this, I might as well just talk about something else, you know? Maybe just random trivia and stuff. Like, I remember Flood's earlier design was a lot slimmer than the current design Flood has now. I mean, it was very close, but Flood looked a little different. Flood was thinner. But also, the HUD for Mario's HP was slightly different too. Like, the sun looked a little more stylized. It looked a little different. But, you know, whatever. It's fine. Although, while we're on the topic of, like, beta stuff, Mario Galaxy went through a lot too. Like, apparently Mario was originally going to have 8 HP, just like he did in Mario Sunshine, but because the game was going to be seen as too easy, that's why Mario only has 6 HP at max, rather than the 8 HP we've seen in previous 3D Mario outings. And actually, that just kind of became the default for Mario going forward. He just has 6 HP because, which honestly I think is a little more interesting. It makes the game harder because that means you have less room to screw up, like I think I'm about to do right now, because my angle is just a little bit too sharp. Don't hit that thing, please. Please don't hit the... That was a pixel! That was like a pixel of my boat hit the lava spire. That was so stupid. And we are up to 13 minutes already. Good lord. We've been trying this stage for 13 minutes. This is crazy. Most sane people would cut this crap out, but not me. I'm not sane. I'm not the usual sane person because, you know, whatever. Also, are those lava fish? Like, really, are those lava fish? I guess the blurps managed to evolve into lava blurps, but they're still blurps. So, you know, who cares? They're a lesser Cheep Cheep. And honestly, Cheep Cheeps are kind of like a lesser Trouter. You guys remember Trouters? They were a Mario 2 enemy that never made it back. Which is funny because a lot of Mario 2 enemies would actually come back in some form or fashion. Like Ninjas and Shy Guys and stuff like that. They would actually make a big comeback. But for whatever reason, Trouters never came back instead of Cheep Cheeps and Blurps. Which, by the way, the green Cheep Cheeps, before they were just called green Cheep Cheeps, they actually did have a different name. They were called Blurps. At least they were in Super Mario World, which I think is way more interesting. I like the fact that Blurps were actually a different type of fish than the Cheep Cheep. The Cheep Cheep, because Cheep Cheep is kind of a dumb name, to be honest, which I guess it was kind of like a play on onomatopoeia or something. Because interestingly, alright, there we go. Oh wow, okay. Oh shit, oh shit. Okay, turn. I'm not gonna make it. Ah, man! kicked on the jets just a hair sooner, but we are making progress. We are making progress, which is a good thing. I was legitimately like, oh man, I was like maybe a minute away from getting to the checkpoint. That's so irritating. But anyway, I kind of like the slimmer design for the mushrooms in 3D. They look kind of weird, like, yeah, like that. Man, that hurts. I'm so sorry, Mario. Good thing this isn't like a rated M game or whatever, because that would have been terrible. Mario would have been cut to a million tiny little pieces. That was terrible. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to cut this into a couple of episodes. Not like I haven't done that before. I've done that to Shantae and stuff, which I really do need to finish up that Shantae video. Although, speaking of Shantae, I've actually played Game 5 now. So, I have now played every single Shantae game at least once. And Game 5 is actually really fun. I think it's definitely an improvement over Game 3 and stuff. In terms of, like, control and stuff, I don't know, like, in terms of story, because I haven't gotten too far in Game 3. Although, I am very aware that there are some interesting characterizations in Game 3. Like, Risky being a little more sympathetic, and you get to learn more about, like, Roddy Tops's relationship with Shantae, which really does, it does touch my heart. I did see it, and the world you see her in is just so spooky. It's the realm of lost souls, I believe, and it's so sad. It's so depressing, but in a good way, you know? And honestly, it really does feel like Roddy Tops's character would be a little... That was a pixel! That was a freaking pixel! Oh my god. Here I was talking about Roddy Tops. Is this your way of getting revenge on me, game? Because I was talking about a different game, you know, Pirate's Curse, which everyone really likes. Which is interesting because Pirate's Curse is... Oh, what? No. What? Well, there we go. There's our first Scorcher there. That's what happened if... That's what happens... That's what happens if you don't, like, cool things off before you get there. I think part of this is just me getting impatient. Okay. Whew, we're just... Man. Oh shit, jump! I just want to get back to the boat, man. I just want to get back to the boat, and then I can call it an episode once we get to the checkpoint. I'm probably just going to keep recording, but I'll probably just call out, like, hey, this is the end of the episode, and then just, like, cut to the next part of Corona Mountain. Which is interesting, because I actually did predict that the number of episodes would be higher here in Mario Sunshine, but because I didn't go after the pachinko machine, and I did a few things a little out of order, it actually worked out in our favor, because that means we don't have to... Why are you going to the left? Alright, let's actually... Yeah, there we go. Alright. Alright. Yeah. Let's see. I'm going to try focusing here for a second. Alright. Let's angle our boat a little bit more to the left so we don't hit that wonderful thing right there. Alright. We're going to be cutting it kind of close. Alright. Alright. Now, we gotta tilt the boat. You can make a song out of this. Uh-oh. Huh! Make it! Yeah! We did it! Whew! Okay. 20 minutes later. Okay. Well, I think we're gonna call it an episode here. Thank you guys for listening. I hope this wasn't too boring for you. Honestly, I think this is the best commentary we've had in the last few episodes. So, next time we beat Bowser and we say arrivederci to this game. See you guys then.